Yo guys, Theo here, Uncommon Sense. I've been watching a lot of natural lifting content lately, so YouTube channels such as Alpha Destiny, Bald Omni Man, one of my new favorite YouTube channels by the way, Jeffrey Schofield, Natural Hypertrophy, and they all have a very hard stance against steroids and encourage you to stay natural. And so there's been something going on that's been called the noble Natty debate, which is basically, is it better to stay natural than jumping on steroids? And well, this has made me think back to the times I've spoken about steroids on this channel, which has basically been when I've been asked about it on my live streams that are currently paused, but in the past. And listening to these guys that I very much agree with their stance, I've been kind of regretting the way I've talked about it. Like I've never had a positive message, like you should jump on gear or anything, but when I've been asked, I just kind of shared my view without really thinking about what kind of message do I want to send to you here? What do I want you to take with you and affect the way you are thinking about the whole thing? So in this video, I want to correct that and share my complete view on the noble natty thing and the steroids. So one thing that is kind of difficult as a coach and educator is that about certain things, you find yourself on, in a sense, on both sides of the fence, because it depends on what the person you're talking about, where they are coming from. So another example would be like with a keto thing. Like I'm not pro keto, low carb. So someone who is, I would encourage that, carbs are important. If you stay off them for too long, your metabolism might slow down too much. You might get some hormonal deficiency. You should eat some carbs. But if you just take them, average person that isn't really into nutrition and diet, doesn't follow any specific diet, they should probably eat fewer carbs. Do you see what I'm saying? So it depends so much on who you're talking about, talking to, in what like direction you want to affect them. And so when it comes to steroids, like if I heard someone that was considering jumping on gear, I would always tell them why they shouldn't, that they can achieve a lot naturally. But there's also a lot of people who kind of just they shit too much on people who take steroids, and they can't listen to anyone that's on steroids, and they kind of lose out because there's a lot of individuals that are honest about their use of steroids and have great information to give, and you can learn a lot about them, and just don't take steroids yourself. So you see, again, and so the two things I know, because I haven't gone back to the streams because I don't remember which ones I talked about, but I remember kind of what I said when I've been asked if I would ever consider going on steroids. Well, just to give a more fun answer and kind of entertain the idea, I've said that, yeah, well, maybe in like my 50s, if I live somewhere where it's legal, I might consider taking some exogenous testosterone to just for fun, basically, just to be able to make more gains than I would have been able to at the age of 50, But that's just, to be honest, that's just to entertain the idea. There are a lot of caveats. When I'm 50, in a country where that would be legal, and it's just entertaining the idea. I'll say right now that I will stay natural forever, okay? Because I think it's the best choice. And the other thing is that I've said that I don't judge. That if someone want to take steroids and it's an informed decision, they know the risks of it and they choose to do it anyway, then that's their personal choice and I have no problem with it. Well, the caveat that I don't think I mentioned is when I say that, I mean either someone who like wants to be an elite powerlifter or bodybuilder, and it's just if you want to be one of the best. Unfortunately, because steroids exist and are part of the equation, that's what you gotta resort to. And so I would, if someone sees themselves, you know what, I think I could make it to the top, then I would understand why they do that and respect that. And also, like, say that if we're not talking about someone who's gonna compete in something, a person that's been training for like 10 years and are just eking out small progress and would be like, you know what, I would like to take it to the next level and make some faster gains again. I would like to, even though I know there are risks, I jump on it. Like I could see where they're coming from. I wouldn't judge. I wouldn't like think badly of them. But the other caveat to this is that I would still, if they asked me on my opinion, I would say, you know what, don't do it. Just become a strong-ass motherfucker naturally. Just keep training naturally and keep your health in check. You can still make progress, So those are some things I would like to clarify there. What more do we have? Yeah, I should say that I do have clients and client prospects that are on gear. So, same thing there. If they ask me, I would tell them to go off it or not do it. But it's not that within reason. I wouldn't want to work with a drug abuser, But I could work with you still, but I will encourage you to not do that. And I might actually, not because of me, but I might actually be part in someone going off gear. So that's pretty cool. Okay, but so the thing is, I understand the temptation, fast results. We all want the fast results, right? But the people I've heard in my life that are curious about going on steroids, they are never the hardest workers. They are not the ones that know the most about training, that are the most consistent with their training and nutrition and sleep and all that. And so I don't feel like we're coming from the same place here, because I've of course been tempted, if you're into training and getting stronger and building muscle, and you know that the steroids, PEDs are out there, of course you think, I wonder what I could do with those, and at some points when I hit kind of a plateau, and earlier in my own fitness journey, I had a few points where I was a little black-pilled. I thought wow, maybe you can't do all that much, because there's so much fucking shit black-pilled information out there, like that website, nattyornot.com, that little fucking beta that he thinks nothing is possible naturally, because he has failed to build muscle. He wants to, make everyone else think that no, you can't. I couldn't do it, so you can't do it either. Look at this person. No. Everyone is on steroids. Everyone who looks good and are strong are on steroids, and you're just doomed to be a weak little bitch like me if you don't jump on gear. So I've had my moments where I've never considered doing it. It's honest. It's like I'm in a voluntary celibacy now, because I know. I've realized that my old lifestyle of trying to hook up with women, it didn't give me what I wanted in life, didn't lead to what I want. And so it's the right choice for me in order to, get a good woman with the same values as me and whatever. But of course, I've been tempted to break. I'm not in a celibacy because I don't have any sex drive. It's because of the reasons I just mentioned. So of course, I've been tempted to break it, but I've never really considered doing it. But I just want to say that I understand. But lifting should be, that's the thing too. Earlier in my life, I would have come from a perspective where I would have been more prone to actually consider doing it, because I was training just for shallow reasons. I wanted to look good so that I would be attractive to girls and the guys would respect me, kind of thing, But this time around, when I started training, I did it just because I felt like shit, having gone through panic attack disorder, daily panic attacks, and before that just depressed and a lot of anxiety before, and I just started training and improving my health. Yeah, to improve my health. That's what was the reason. And then I got good results. And then I learned, it's fucking cool. It's a great tool for self-development, working on yourself, getting more jacked and stronger, but it's not what it's all about. It's about embracing that struggle of self-inflicted adversity, saying no to some things that maybe you would have wanted, like go out drinking or eating junk food or being lazy and not going to the gym, but you chose to be disciplined and strict with this, and you get the results to show it. You get strong and you look better. And you don't need steroids for that whole self-development process to happen, right? So yeah, I just written a little list here because I have a lot of thoughts. Well, why I think it's better to stay natty is, of course, because it's the working on yourself to become a stronger and healthier version of yourself. That should be what you're doing, and within reason, when you don't use steroids, getting jacked, getting muscular, looking big and all that, that is an expression of getting stronger and healthier. But when you jump on the PED path, it's all of a sudden about something else. It's only about, I want to build muscle just for the sake of it. I would just want to get bigger just for the sake of it. And you neglect this whole health thing because it's not healthy to take steroids. It's very dangerous. It shuts down your endogenous testosterone production, so you are now dependent on these drugs. Your balls shrink, and you don't have any testosterone whatsoever if you don't put a needle in your butt cheek. And apart from that, it takes a toll on like all your organs. And yeah, of course, moderate cycles or whatever wouldn't have as big of an impact on you as like doing what, I don't know, a Mr. Olympia bodybuilder would do. But it's still a big risk. It's not about health anymore, and it's addictive in the sense that both that you might, when you notice good response from taking the drugs, you want to take more and more, might happen, but also it's addictive. You're dependent on it now, as I said, because your balls no longer produce testosterone. And so, what do we hear more? Yeah, and I want to say that you can become very jacked and strong and natural. It's again, people want a shortcut all the time. It's not only about steroids. It's like I get so many questions about fucking irrelevant things that don't really matter. The things that matter once you got down, when you're training regularly, when you eat overwhelmingly healthy foods, when you make sure to get enough sleep, when you exercise, when you go out, make sure to get sunlight, all these things, when you got all that down, that's when you can get into things like, do you take creatine? Because I got that question so many times. It fucking annoys me. It's like an insult, not that I take offense really, but do you think I have reached these results because I take creatine? And so every time I get that question, I will say yes, because I do, because creatine is not something like steroids, both nowhere near the same effect, but no side effects. Well, some people with unfortunate genetics can lose hair from it, but most people won't. I obviously don't. So yeah, I will take that, but I always add that, but training, nutrition, sleep is 99+% of the whole thing, and yeah, it's like you have to be patient. But you can get really jacked and strong. Like look at me. I started doing this at 25, and I thought that I was starting too late. Like, yeah, I'm gonna try to train and improve my health and stuff. But yeah, obviously, since I started so late, I won't be able to, because literally when I was 25, I could count on one hand the times I've been to a gym, and then I realized that no, it was not that. It was not too late. I could make great, amazing results. Like the way I look now, if like teenage me could have seen that I could have looked like this, he would have like jizzed in his pants. He would have been amazed. He would have been happy with half that. So you can achieve a lot naturally. And I would talk about the genetic factor, because people get hung up. I just have poor genetics, so I need something to get it just on par with everyone else. And yeah, this is one thing too, that it depends on who I'm talking to, what I want to say here. Because I want to be honest that yes, genetics will play a part. Like you can't, if you have an ideal physique, you might not be able to look exactly like that because of, your different lengths, different limb lengths, different muscle insertions, all that. Some people, it might be a little bit easier for some people to put on muscle, but take me again. Is it genetics that made me, for these 3.5 years that I've been training, be super consistent, literally never dropping the ball with my training, working on my nutrition, improving that all the time, fine-tuning everything. Every time I run into a plateau or some kind of problem, an injury or something, I take a step back, I try things, I figure it out, and so the progress picks up again. Was that genetics that did that for me? No. Have you done all these things before you complain about your genetics? Have you been super consistent with training, sleep, and if you're not making progress in the gym, you've reconsidered, you've gone looking for new information, you've hired a coach, someone like me, to help you if you don't manage to figure out on your own. Have you done all these things before you complain about your genetics? I don't think so. And what have you more? Yeah. Yeah. Oh, this is the thing. Getting back to how strong and jacked you can get without steroids, natural. Do you know that I know a lot of people that are on gear that are both, they look much worse than me and are weaker than me, significantly weaker. And how would that make you feel if you've not learned the essentials of training properly, having proper nutrition, sleep habits, minimizing stress, all those things, and you jump on gear and then you stay fucking small because the gear is not going to do the job for you. That's another thing you want to say. It depends on who you're talking to, because yes, the steroids will significantly change your baseline for what is possible, but it won't just do it for free for you. You won't just get it for free. So now, if you haven't learned to train and eat properly, all that, the basics, you have not learned that, and you jump on gear. The sun make me white, but you have not learned that, and you jump on gear, and since you don't know that, you're still not making any results, and you're now shut down your endogenous hormone production. You're putting stress on your organs, and you still look like shit. You look worse than someone who isn't taking steroids. How is that gonna make you feel? You're gonna feel like a little fucking loser. You're gonna feel like a huge failure, And how do you think it makes me feel that I know people that I have much better progress with my aesthetics and my strength. People who take performance enhancing drugs that can raise the baseline for what is possible for you so much. How do you think that makes me feel? It makes me feel fucking great about myself, and this is what it's all about. Really, steroids or not, it's about putting in the work. That's what it's all about. It's not about I have. It's not the look in and of itself. This is what I learned when I got into it for these other reasons, not just shallow reasons, That looking this way, it's an expression of being a certain person that is disciplined, that is smart, that figures out what they need to do in the gym, what they need to change about what they're doing in order to get this physique that you then can enjoy. But it's not, understand, it's a byproduct of the person you're becoming. That's why I call what I do, my coaching, what I teach people, I call it uncommon sense bodybuilding, to make it like concrete for people. That we will be working on your body. We will try to build muscle and get stronger and have a good, healthy body fat percentage and all that. But it's really person building. That body is a byproduct of becoming that person that consistently does the things necessary in order to get that body. All right. So the last thing I want to touch on here is TRT. Testosterone replacement therapy, which it's supposed to be a treatment for someone who just has chronically too low testosterone, so they can't build muscle, they feel depressed, they get heart issues, all kinds of issues from that. I say it's supposed to be an intervention for someone. Does that, because like 99% of people who take TRT, it's not for those reasons. It's because they want to have unnaturally high testosterone and be able to put on more muscle easier. And look, also people who say, but I tested my testosterone and it was below the reference range. Well, before you jumped on TRT, did you make sure to eliminate or minimize processed foods in your diet? Did you make sure that you train and exercise properly? I don't even just mean gym training, lifting. I mean moving around, getting outside, getting sunlight, extremely important for testosterone. Sleep. Do you get enough sleep? And then you can often go, but I have sleep issues. I have so much sleep. Okay, what steps have you taken to improve your sleep issues? Do you do like me, sleep has been difficult for me ever since I was a kid, And so I try to do everything to improve that. I don't eat close to bed. I try to, even when it's shitty weather, it's winter and cold and wet here in Sweden, I try to get outside to get some sunlight for the circadian rhythm, for my body to understand what time of the day it is. I use blue light blocking glasses here in the evening at home, so I block blue light that will trick my body into thinking that it's daytime, and it has improved. It is easier for me to sleep. So have you see a side tangent, not even before you took exogenous testosterone, have you made sure these things? But about the sleep, there is always a lot of things you can do. And I'm very, very, very confident that the overwhelming majority of people, even that tested and had low T, they did not try properly to improve their lifestyle before. And I want to say about testosterone too, that of course it's important, it's very important, but as long as you're within the normal range, you will be able to build muscle. Like I know a guy, for instance, that's he has less than half, because I tested my testosterone last summer, it was quite high. And I will say it is because I'm very, very, very strict and particular with my lifestyle, you know. But this guy, he has less than half of my levels, and he's like bigger than me. So, you know, it's not only testosterone. Like, yes, having like super low, that will be detrimental, of course. But it's not that you just need to have super high testosterone in order to make gains. No, as long as you're within the normal range, you'll be able to do it. And so if you are one of these few, very few people that have tried everything, have honestly tried everything to improve your testosterone levels via the natural means, but it just didn't happen, then, well, okay, I understand. If you're chronically depressed from that, and you just feel like shit, and nothing has worked for you, then I understand. You take the TRT. That's fine, you know. I got a little fired up talking about all this. Realize I have strong views on it. So, yeah, again, you know, I want to have a balanced view about the thing. I don't want to reject every person who ever does steroids. I would, everyone who's like honest about it, even though I would always recommend and think it's a superior choice not to go on it. But someone, after having learned all the essentials and been consistent with their training stuff, like, yeah, I could see, okay, that was your choice. But I would still always recommend you not to do it. And yeah, I think that's it. Let me pause for a second. Yeah, I guess the final thing I'd like to talk a little bit more about, that's not necessarily steroid related, but it's like natural hypertrophy. He put out a good video on the noble Natty. I don't remember like the commandments of the noble Natties or something, and I don't remember them all, but I loved it because he really encapsulated that it's not only about getting strong and jacked, about the look, about just building muscle. Like, yes, we care about that and we like that. We think it's fun and cool. But it's about becoming a better person, working on yourself in order to become the best man or woman that you could be. And so if you're like me, for instance, a nerd, like, yeah, you will look for every single thing you can do better, like the creatine I mentioned, but I'm trying the supplement testosterone now lately, you know, that could have like creatine like effects basically. To be honest, I'm not experiencing that it's doing that much, but I'm a nerd and I will try it, you know, I'll try it and see if it works. But I always it annoys me that when I put out that I will trying this, and I'm to be honest, I'm a lot just using it because it's a buzzword at this point. The people are interested to know, but I kind of take the opportunity to report my bulk and how my training is going under the title of Testosterone Bulk Hog because I'm taking testosterone, but it's really mainly my training I'm talking about. But it annoyed me that when I put out that, a lot of guys that I could see on Instagram that have been following me for a while, but never really asked me anything, they're like, immediately excited, it's going to be so fun to see what this is doing. And I'm like, but you could have asked me about, I see you, you know, you're not you're not in great shape yet and stuff. Why do you care so much about this little detail? Because even me taking it and from the start being like skeptical, but it might do something, you know, I still, it's not that I'm thinking that this is what makes my progress. No, it's the consistency with the training and nutrition and sleep and just good healthy habits. That will always be it. And that's what you should be focusing on. So yeah, I just feel like talking more, but I think I've said everything I have to say. So please leave me a comment. What do you think? What's your view on the whole steroid thing? I want to say, you know, if you're someone watching who takes gear, I've explained my view. I don't necessarily judge you. I don't think we could be friends or whatever, but if you ask me, should I go off? I would say yes. Would it be better if I never did it? I would say yes. That's my view. And yeah, so please comment and please like. All comments and like helps support the channel, so I appreciate it a lot. Please subscribe for more content about fitness, fasting, losing weight, building muscle, self-improvement, uncommon sense takes on a wide variety of subjects. Okay guys, I will see you later. Peace.